Welcome to Israel Now News. I'm Rebekah Roberts.
And I'm Yochanan Elrom.
In our top story, Hamas has broken the ceasefire, and they will pay. The Israeli Security Cabinet has approved renewed strikes on Hamas in Gaza after the terror group repeatedly violated the ceasefire agreement. The radical Iranian-backed terror group continues to prolong the suffering of Israelis by delaying the return of the bodies of the remaining hostages. Last week, the IDF released drone footage of Hamas faking the recovery of a hostage's corpse for Red Cross workers. It then transferred remains belonging to a hostage recovered in Gaza and buried in Israel nearly 2 years ago. Israeli troops came under fire in Rafah last week, and one reserve officer was killed. This comes just days after 2 Israeli soldiers were murdered by sniper fire in Gaza. These repeated violations prompted Jerusalem to renew its targeted attacks on Hamas, and Israeli media reported that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has decided to expand IDF control in Gaza.
The Jewish state is now the strongest power in the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu recently addressed the Shin Bet Security Service, saying their work changed the entire balance of deterrence and power in the region. Speaking at the president's residence in Jerusalem, Netanyahu said the Shin Bet's contribution in thwarting more than 1,200 terrorist attacks is unimaginable and largely unknown. He added that while fighting a war on multiple fronts, Israel reached the highest level of threat alerts ever and the lowest number of attacks carried out.
The Jewish state has officially declared an end to the state of emergency that was initiated on October 7, 2023. While much of the country was restored to full function, southern Israel has remained under increased security protocols for more than 2 years. Defense Minister Israel Katz announced that for the first time since the Hamas invasion of Israel, the Jewish state is no longer in a state of emergency. Katz said the decision reflects the new security reality in the South that was achieved thanks to the determined and powerful actions of our heroic troops against Hamas over the past 2 years.
The Israel Defense Forces continue to target Hezbollah leaders in precision strikes throughout Lebanon. The Lebanese government has yet to implement the disarmament of Hezbollah. In the meantime, the remaining members of the Iranian-backed terror group are working to rearm and rebuild. The IDF has carried out regular operations to prevent Hezbollah from establishing a foothold in southern Lebanon that would pose a threat to Israel's northern border.
Israel's Mossad intelligence agency has named Iranian commander Sardar Amar as the architect responsible for terror threats against Jews and Israelis worldwide. Amar is a high-ranking commander in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, working directly under Quds Force Chief Ismail Gahani. He was directly responsible for attempted terror attacks in Greece, Australia, and Germany this year. The Mossad describes Amar's modus operandi as terror without Iranian fingerprints. But thanks to the intensive activity by the Mossad, together with intelligence and security agencies in Israel and abroad, dozens of terror plots advanced by Iran were thwarted.
Terrorists who took part in the Hamas genocide of 1,200 people are being treated like kings in Cairo. According to the ceasefire agreement, Israel released 2,000 security prisoners, including 250 serving life sentences for terror attacks. 150 of the worst offenders were deported and are now being hosted at one of the finest hotels in Egypt. According to the Daily Mail, the terrorists were received by huge crowds of friends, family, and supporters. Unsuspecting tourists staying at the Marriott's Renaissance Cairo Mirage Hotel were housed next door to the vicious murderers. Guests reported seeing terrorists withdrawing large sums of cash from ATM machines located at the five-star resort. A former Israeli intelligence agent confirmed that the deported terrorists have no restrictions on their movements. They can travel to Europe, raise donations, reestablish their networks, and form new terror cells.
In an unprecedented development, the United States military's Central Command has established a joint command center in Israel. The Civil Military Coordination Center, or CMCC, is located in Kiryat Gat, about 15 miles from the Gaza border. The massive facility has dedicated floors for U.S. military personnel, Israeli security, and for international forces sent to monitor the Gaza ceasefire. Residents of Kiryat Gat welcomed the 200 newly deployed American troops with open arms and lots of food. Restaurants and food delivery services in the once sleepy town say they are working around the clock to accommodate their new guests. They say the sight of U.S. soldiers in uniform has brought an unexpected boom for morale and for their local economy.
Despite claiming to have halted its payments to terrorists and their families, the Palestinian Authority has resumed its pay-to-slay program. In February, PA leader Mahmoud Abbas claimed to have revoked the system of rewarding terrorists and their families for killing Jews. The European Commission praised the move and pledged 150 million euros to support PA public sector salaries. Unfortunately, these blood payments were merely paused while the PA reclassified the terror stipends as social welfare. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar announced last week that the PA never stopped paying salaries to terrorists. It only changed the method. Sa'ar said instead of demanding accountability from the Palestinian Authority, the European Union ignores the ongoing crime of paying terrorists and encouraging terror.
American Airlines announced that it will resume direct flights to the Jewish state 2 years after halting service to Israel. In the aftermath of the genocidal Hamas attacks on October 7, 2023, all major U.S. airliners grounded flights to Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion International Airport. Delta and United eventually restarted their nonstop service, but Dallas-based American Airlines refused to return. The company released a statement saying that it plans to relaunch daily nonstop flights from New York's John F. Kennedy Airport on March 28, 2026.
More than 100 Australian doctors are preparing to immigrate to Israel or make Aliyah. The Jewish Agency partnered with the Nefesh B'Nefesh organization and the Israeli Ministry of Aliyah and Absorption to recruit doctors from abroad in the aftermath of the Hamas attacks on Israel 2 years ago. They launched a series of MEDEX immigration fairs for medical professionals planning on moving to the Jewish state. This program has been highly successful. Last year, more than 520 doctors left Russia, Ukraine, the United States, Canada, France, and Australia to practice medicine in Israel.
Israeli archaeologists have announced the discovery of an ancient Assyrian tax notice addressed to the Kingdom of Judah. This is the first written evidence of relations between the Assyrian Empire and the Kingdom of Judah ever discovered in Israel. Excavations at the Davidson Archaeological Park just south of the Western Wall exposed a 2,000-year-old drainage canal and a royal palace dated to the First Temple era. These excavations led to the discovery of a 2,700-year-old clay seal, or bulla, describing Jerusalem's delinquent tax payments to the Assyrian Empire. This discovery confirms the biblical account in the book of 2 Kings that describes King Hezekiah's mounting debt to Assyria and unpaid taxes. This prompted King Sennacherib to march against Jerusalem. Archaeologists noted that documents found in Assyria detail an extensive relationship with Judean emissaries and merchants, but this is the first evidence of Assyrian-Israelite ties ever discovered in Jerusalem.
The Israel Allies Foundation launched its 63rd caucus in Panama recently. This marks a historic moment in the growing global movement of faith-based diplomacy. This new caucus has united 10 members of the Panamanian Parliament in support of Israel and their long-standing friendship with the Jewish state. Deputies signed a declaration of solidarity and friendship with Israel. The move reaffirms Panama's historic role as one of the first countries to support Israel's establishment by voting in favor of UN Resolution 181 in 1947. The declaration explicitly recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of the Jewish state and reflects Panama's enduring commitment to Israel's sovereignty and security. Josh Reinstein, the president of the Israel Allies Foundation, welcomed the establishment of Panama's parliamentary Israel Allies Caucus. He described it as a powerful stride in fostering diplomatic solidarity, setting the stage for Panama to join the growing chorus of nations proudly placing their embassy in Jerusalem, Israel's eternal capital. That concludes the news portion of our show. Stay tuned for Ask the Source with Josh Reinstein.
Hello and welcome to Ask the Source. I'm your host Josh Reinstein, and we're here in our beautiful studio in Jerusalem. My guest today is Bentov. He's the founder of the Jerusalem Nano Bible. Ami, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell our viewers a little about what is the Jerusalem Nano Bible.
Okay, the Jerusalem Nano Bible, actually, it's a chip with 5 millimeter square. And with Israeli technology, nanotechnology actually, we took all the Bible and put it here in special technology, in a small chip, in this chip here. And all the books, all the scripture are here. And the idea was that people can carry it with them all over, on their heart. Spiritual, not only spiritual, because you have it here. And that's the whole idea behind it.
It's really amazing. You know, I have a few objects from Jerusalem Nano Bible, and it's great. You can carry the 5 books of Moses, the Psalms, the prophets, all in a little chip. How are you seeing the reaction from people who are wearing it? Do they think about it that they're wearing it? Do they act more godly because of it?
Okay, people, it's amazing. I mean, people seeing me and they are so exciting. They say it's like a miracle to carry God's word with you on your heart, not only in your heart. Also, you can do it now on your heart. All the 5 books of Moses and and everything. And people, feel more secure to carry it, walking on the street, feeling like, wow, we have God's word with us all over. People take it for a soldier, Israeli soldier, come and buy it before they go into this war, the last war. And you can feel something. Even, business people have a meeting. They are going to a meeting. They carry the Nano Bible with them, and they feel secure and feel better, strong, or whatever. Each one with his feeling.
It's interesting. It's become quite a hit in the Christian world as well. You do a Nano Bible that actually has the New Testament on it as well. It's not just the Old Testament like the Jewish people wear, but also the New Testament that Christians are wearing. How are Christians reacting to this?
It's amazing to get the reaction from Christian people because, first of all, they feel like we build a bridge between these two peoples, the Christian and the Jewish. It's like a bridge. You can carry both books, the Old Testament, they call it, and the New Testament, and feel like they're carrying, because it's called also Jerusalem Nano Bible, they feel like they're having a peace from Jerusalem with them all over. I mean, we know, all of us know that Jerusalem, it's not just a place. Jerusalem, it's a place with a huge meaning for all, especially Christian and Jewish. And people feel like they're having peace from Jerusalem in their house, in their home, and especially when they can carry it all over with them. And I get a lot of emails from all over the world, people who are so excited that it's come from Jerusalem, and people can, they feel like they have something from Jerusalem with them all over the world. And it's word God's,
When I got my Nano Bible a few years ago, it was kind of like a niche thing, but now I see everyone pretty much has a Nano Bible. I was at an event and the ambassador Huckabee was wearing a pin with a Nano Bible. How does people hear about it? How did it get so popular?
It's at the beginning, it took time because people, to bring something new to the world, it's not easy. But step by step, and we are huge believing in this. It's my mission. I feel like it's my life mission to bring it all over. And now, after 10 years, 11 years soon, people all over the world, when you say Nano Bible, they know what you're talking about. And exciting, and here in Israel, it's all over. People wearing it and feel with the reaction, feel secure to go with it, and it's amazing. And I feel so proud to be part of it. And people carrying the bless with them, and to carry all God's word with you from Jerusalem, it's amazing. And the email I get, we want more. Please send. People buying in our website. You can get it in our website.
You mentioned before that soldiers wear it, and we have a tradition where a soldier carries the Psalms with them when they go into battle. I mean, almost all fighters have the Psalms. Now they're starting to wear Nano Bibles. But are you seeing this in other armies? Are American soldiers wearing Nano Bibles when they go into war?
Not yet, but I know that the American soldiers who are spending time here in Israel start seeing that that our soldiers are carrying it, and they are asking about it. And I hope that all the American soldiers who are our brothers and sisters, will carry the Nano Bible with them and feel the same secure like our soldiers feel when they are going to army, and take the Nano Bible with them.
I mean, there are literally tens of millions of people watching this show. What message do you have for our viewing audience?
I want to see this Nano Bible all over the world, because it's a bridge between nation, people who believe in God carry it, and it's something that the new technology, the Israeli new technology, give us the chance to do it. And you're welcome to our website, and don't forget, take the Jerusalem Nano Bible, because it's made in Israel.
Thank you, Ami, for being on the show. And thank you for tuning into Ask the Source. I'm your host, Josh Reinstein. Now back to the studio.
And now the truth from Zion.
The Iranian threat to Christians is a clear and present danger. Inside Iran, the fanatic Islamic regime criminalizes free worship and jails converts to other religions. Beyond its borders, Tehran's proxies help create conflict zones where historic Christian communities are under constant attack. Churches face surveillance, Persian language services are curtailed, and security forces target house church networks. Converts from Islam are especially vulnerable, typically charged with acting against national security or propaganda against the state, as radical judges apply religious law. The U.S. State Department and the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom have for years documented these patterns. A key legal turn came in 2021 when Iran added 2 articles to its penal code, vague provisions against what it called deviant educational or proselytizing activity and insulting sacred values. Rights groups warned they would be used against unrecognized minorities, including Christian converts. That prediction has borne out in arrest, trials, and long prison sentences handed down to pastors, lay leaders, and ordinary believers. The years since have seen cycles of intensified repression. Reporting and open source monitoring show repeated waves of arrest, especially around Christmas and Easter. In 2024 alone, advocacy trackers noted sharp increases in aggregate jail sentences. In early 2025, Iranian authorities rearrested previously freed Christians linked to Persian language house churches. The 2025 report by the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom describes an environment that worsened after Iran's military escalation with Israel in June. Religious minorities, Baha'is, Christians, Jews, and Sunni Muslims faced heightened surveillance, detentions, and prosecutions. The threat to Christian communities also extends through Iran's regional reach. In Iraq, Iran-aligned popular mobilization forces have repeatedly been cited for harassment of Christians on the Nineveh Plains. In Yemen, the Houthis, armed and controlled by Iran, rule parts of the country with the hard line on religion. Converts to Christianity have fled Houthi-dominated areas. Those Christians choosing to stay must maintain a low profile or go underground. Lebanon also suffers from Iranian influence. Hezbollah's militarization of the south and the cross-border war with Israel since late 2023 have displaced tens of thousands of persons, including Christian villagers caught between military launch sites and counterstrikes. Even when not singled out because of faith, these communities pay the price of living beside an Iran-backed army. On the other hand, Israel is home to a sizable Christian community, woven into everyday life across the country. When Iran and its proxies target Israeli population centers and infrastructure, those attacks endanger not just Jews, but Christians as well, their schools, churches, and neighborhoods. For Israel and its allies, the stakes are shared.
The Islamic leadership of Iran often says, first we will go after the Saturday people, and then the Sunday people. They have started by attacking Jews, but will end up attacking Christians.
When a rogue state that fires on Israeli cities and also criminalizes Christian worship at home, the response must be coordinated and firm. That means air and missile defense. It also means sanctions and law enforcement. It means intelligence sharing on so-called front companies. It also means support for civil society and clear public consequences for those who raid homes because people prayed in the Persian language. Inside Iran, a different vision exists. Opposition leader Reza Pahlavi speaks openly about a secular, democratic Iran, one that protects religious freedom and seeks peace with its neighbors, including Israel. His Cyrus Accords look forward to an Iran that reconnects with the region and the world without exporting terror or criminalizing religious beliefs. Many Iranians of all faiths aspire to that dream. None of this diminishes the courage of Iranian Christians now. The pastors who teach discreetly, the families who gather quietly, the recognized churches that navigate constant oversight, and the converts who count the cost and still cling to their beliefs. Nor does it ignore the suffering of Christians in neighboring countries whose lives are shaped by the presence of Iran's terrorist proxies. The goal is simple. Christians in Iran should be able to worship without fear. Christians in Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen should be able to teach, pray, and live without terrorist militias at their gates. Israel should not face terror because of religious ideology. That future is possible as repression is exposed, finance is squeezed, and a different Iran is encouraged to emerge. From Jerusalem, this is the truth from Zion. Up next, the ICEJ report from the International Christian Embassy, Jerusalem.
I'm standing in front of a sign for the Shikmim neighborhood here in Kibbutz Be'eri. We've seen that the building has already begun, and it's very exciting. I had the privilege of being a part of the groundbreaking ceremony for this neighborhood, and 2 adjacent neighborhoods are going to be built next to it that will be to house those who lost their homes on October 7th.
Since 1980, the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem has been a voice of Christian support for Israel and connected the global church to the land of the Bible. Headquartered in Jerusalem, the ICEJ has taken action to stand with Israel by caring for Holocaust survivors, helping Jewish families return home to Israel, providing bomb shelters, fighting anti-Semitism around the world, and by inviting Christians to discover Israel for themselves.
Very early in the morning, the terrorists made a huge hole, a 40-meter hole in the fence with a big tractor, okay? And as you can see, my house and my neighbor house, it's the same house. It's the closest one to the hole in the gate, in the fence. So I show you later, all the people, most of the people around here didn't survive. And we had a miracle in that morning. We survived. Right now I'm living in a small hotel in Tel Aviv. Coming every day here to Be'eri to work and to show the people around. And we have no belonging at all. We have only this, some clothes. We don't have anything with us. And we are moving to Hatzerim, to the neighborhood that built for us in Hatzerim in the end of October. And waiting for building the houses, new houses, back, and we will be back in Be'eri. We are coming home, and we renovate the kibbutz, and we'll be okay.
I'm here with our good friend Ido Schwartz, and we're standing in the center of the kibbutz in a place that's been cleared. We're discussing today, Ido, about the rebuilding process of Kibbutz Be'eri and the communities in the south. Tell us a little bit how it's going.
So we are now in the heart of Kibbutz Be'eri, where the educational campus was standing. Behind us is one of the kindergartens. All this place was leveled because of the heavy fighting that was here and the situation of the different buildings. Here we're going to build the educational centers, the after-school activity take place, and the educational offices where the teacher lounge and things like this. Regarding the building, Kibbutz Be'eri has already started the first rebuilding phase of 52 house units, and I hope that by the end of 2024 the entire community will be at Kibbutz Hatzerim. We need your support, both firstly by prayers, that those efforts will be fruitful, and secondly, come and visit us and bear witness to this miracle of rebuilding this shattered community. We don't only ask for your partnership, we need your partnership.
We're excited at the International Christian Embassy to be a part of this process of renewal and rebuilding, not just in Kibbutz Be'eri, but also in other communities around the south of Israel. And we want to say to our friends around the world, join with us to be a part of building a brighter future for the people of Israel.
After Hamas brutally attacked Israel on October the 7th, 2023, the ICEJ has been actively standing with Israel and her people through advocacy and urgently needed aid projects. Now is the time for Christians to turn their love for Israel and the Jewish people into real action as never before. Your donation will help deliver bomb shelters to at-risk areas, provide necessary supplies for first responders, support affected citizens with trauma care, and will eventually help rebuild these devastated communities. Visit ICEJUSA.tv to donate online or call 1-800-910-6355 and give your generous gift today.
That's all for this edition of Israel Now News. I'm Rebekah Roberts.
And I'm Yochanan Elrom, reporting from our studio in Jerusalem. Join us again next week for all of your Israel updates.